What's going on, fam? This is Calypso Beats for TheBtzTho. This is episode 5, season 2. We're having a conversation with J Baby Beats from Florida. If you want to contact me, you can hit me up on Instagram, Facebook, whatever social medias that are out there. You can also email me at TheBtzTho@gmail.com. To become a guest or for any ideas, you can also send in your request and your suggestions there as well. Let's get into it. Your name is J Baby Beats?
Yeah.
So you're a producer?
Yeah, singer-songwriter.
Singer-songwriter. How long you been doing it?
Man, I've been doing this shit since I was like, I think I got my first beat machine when I was about 14. I'm 36 now. It's been a little minute.
What was your first beat machine?
A Kaya MPC 2000 XL.
When did you start working on digitally, like in computers and stuff?
Probably like 4 or 5 years after that. When back in the day, I don't know how old you were, but back in the day when they had that slow ass dial up, I don't know if you remember that.
Nah, I definitely know. I'm the same age group, man. 36. 37.
Oh yeah. When you used to go to like Walmart and get that little AOL disc to get that little free dial up in.
Yeah, them joints used to be like crack.
Yeah, well, I used to have so many of them chickens. You could keep using them over and over if I ain't mistaken. Yeah, you just put another.
Not that far.
Yeah, just put another code. But if somebody, you can't be on it too long because if your mama waiting on the phone call, you gotta unplug it.
So you think that from the time that you started making beats on the MPC, because I would like, even though that's digital, right? It's still digital, right? But it's like it's an outboard gear. So from that time you use an outboard gear to you actually using gear like inside of a computer, do you think the music changed?
Yeah, the music changed, but how can I explain it? Yeah, the music changed, but it's always going to change regardless, whether it stayed the same or changed, whether the equipment and the resources changed or not. The music itself is still going to change because people is always going to figure out different new techniques. You know what I'm saying? Even if a computer didn't exist to this day, music won't be the same as it was 20 years ago, regardless.
Right.
So even though computers played a big factor, it would have changed regardless. Everything changed.
What was the first piece of software that you actually used?
FL Studio.
You started there?
Yeah, I started on FL Studio and I still use it to this day.
To this day? That's what's up. Like the first piece
I tried Reason, but that's too complicated, so I never really got into it.
Well, I'm a producer too. I've been producing about the same amount of time that you've been producing, but I think my using software and using computers, I started a lot earlier with that because I didn't have money to get MPCs and stuff.
But see, bro, my first MPC, I paid $25, and obviously the bag of bought it from ain't know what the fuck he had. And I also didn't know what the fuck I was buying. I knew it was a beat machine, but like I said, we didn't have access to Google some shit and see how much some shit worth and what it is. You know what I'm saying? Back then.
Right.
So I gave him $25. I don't even remember how I got them $25. I ain't had no job. I got it from some damn well because I wanted that so bad. And I got it. It came with like 3 floppy disks, you know, with the sounds and all that. Right. I just figured out how to use it by myself. I mean, he ain't even know how to use it. I got to fumbling with it all day, every day, until I learned how to mastermind that motherfucker.
Right. And there was a website back in the day called undergroundhiphop.com.
That sounds
familiar. It gotta be because we saying it, but it was called undergroundhiphop.com, and what they would do instead of like, because back then they wasn't putting music online. The only way you could get it is if you use like Napster or one of those things. So what they did was they put like a loop of the beat on the website, and what you would do is you would download that loop. And then you would take that loop and then put it into Cool Edit and loop it over and over and over. The only thing though with Cool Edit, because it was a demo, right? So after every so often you would hear like a ding, like a bell. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard Cool Edit. I never used it, but I heard of it before.
Cool Edit, and then after that, I started using. There was a program. Okay, before Logic came out and it was on Apple, they had Logic
Yeah.
Platinum.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they had Logic Platinum. Logic Platinum, I think it was Logic Platinum 5.5. That's what it was. That's what the name of it was. And
How the hell it came straight out to 5.5? Damn, they skipped.
It's crazy. But like my homeboys, it's funny because during that time, like my homeboys were more interested into MPCs and outboard gear. When they saw like I was making this music, I would go to studios too. Like when I was like around, I would say like 16, like 17, 18. And I would go to these studios and some of the engineers would be asking me, yo, how'd you make this beat? And I'll be like, yo, I did it on the computer. They're like, what? You did this on the computer? And the only thing that was like, that how they could tell is because a lot of my mixes that I did would come out really, really thin. It didn't have like that fatness that,
you know, analog burst. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, how did they go straight to 5.5 though?
Well, I was actually watching a YouTube video the other day, and they were talking about music programs back in like the 90s, the early 90s, and the late 80s.
Even I was even to say that even the late 80s, that of course we wouldn't have knew about that because only them big studios had access to it.
Right, and the money. You know?
Yeah, we would have never knew about that shit. I mean, even though we was baby in the late 80s, but it still was out there.
Yeah.
It would have been out there. Samples, all that shit.
You from Florida, right?
Yeah.
The way how I look at like Florida music to like LA music to like Southern, like Texas and stuff like that, I always base it on like the drug culture. So like Florida, I think about like the Port of Miami. I'm thinking about cocaine. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking about all these things.
Yeah.
I think about the South. I think about lean. I think about just driving around.
I mean, of course there's more to that, but I don't blame you for thinking like that because that's the image they put out anyway. That's all this is about. And I feel like, especially this young generation that's a generation or so under us, that they feel like that's what they got to do to make it. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody separating their music. Everybody sound the same. Everybody talking about the same issue.
Right.
So that's just where everybody got the same look. But what I can say about that Florida look, that's really what you get when you come to Florida. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like everybody like with the thick ass dreadlocks and the gold teeth and all that shit, that's really what you see. So that's just not no gimmick. Oh, I'm trying to look like a rapper. I'm trying to portray myself as being this. That's really what Florida is. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing I can say about it. And now the rest of the hip hop culture and the rest of the country catching on and trying to, you know, duplicate that look and all that. But that's really what Florida is, and man, that been like that before I was born and since I was a baby.
Right.
And that's one thing I love. I mean, Florida's like a big island, man, to me.
Right.
And you know, I love it. I mean, just like I'm quite sure you like New York, it's two different worlds, but I can go to New York and I'm quite sure I'm gonna see some shit I ain't never seen before. It's gonna feel weird because it's more people, it's more fast paced. But Florida,
I'm gonna tell you like this. For me, like New York, it doesn't seem like, and it may be because I'm a little bit older, but I feel like I'm not even in New York anymore. I feel like I'm not. This is different for me. Even the way how, like the younger kids are, and the slang that everything is different.
A lot of the shit that they say now is not new because they say a lot of shit that we used to say in high school.
Like what? Like jit?
This shit just repeat itself.
Somebody told me jit was a big word down there.
Jit is old. I've been saying jit since I was a jit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Jit, and like we always said, bruh. Now everybody's saying bro. A lot of this old, man, but these younger kids catching on to it and try to put their little twists on to it, and that's it. But I mean, I love Florida. I like to go to New York. One day, I've been there once. We went to Times Square,
Right,
and
right, right, right.
we hopped on the subway, and I don't know where the subway dropped us off, but shit, it was wherever we parked the damn car, and that was it.
Okay, so being that we in the same age group, right? Like, how did the Master P era hit you down in Florida?
I mean, being that it's from the South, it would hit harder than it hit in, like the North or the West, because we can relate to it. That's our style of music, you know what I'm saying? Because back then, there wasn't a lot of Southern music back then when Master P was out. If you turned on the radio, most likely you was hearing somebody from the North on the radio, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You wasn't hearing a lot of Southern rappers. So when Cash Money and No Limit them came out, they the ones who, well, you had some rappers in Atlanta, but when you thought about hip hop, it was all about the North and maybe some West Coast rappers. That was it. So, like, let me see. But when I really seen generations and people change around me is when Bootsy hit the streets. In my city in Jacksonville, Duval County, when Bootsy hit the streets, man, these young niggas just got on some completely other shit. Like, I witnessed firsthand.
What was the difference when Bootsy came out?
I guess it's hard to explain to where you can understand what I'm trying to say. But Master P, but because I don't know how old I was when Master P that No Limit cat was coming out, but I was probably like 9, 10, so I wasn't trying to live like them. I wasn't trying to do what they was doing. I just liked their music. But when Bootsy came out, Bootsy was the same age as all us, so we all wanted to do what Bootsy was doing. We all wanted to live that life, even though some of us was already living that life. So we felt like he talking to us. And I just, I'm talking about all the females. Everybody was on that Bootsy shit. Everybody was trying to live like Bootsy was talking and rapping about it.
I can remember, because I used to go like record shop. Well, this is back in that time where when somebody came out with an album, you actually had to go to the store and look for the cover and all that. And I remember going to the store and seeing a No Limit album cover, and that shit stood out from everybody else's for some reason. Like all that
and
ice and
that what I was just gonna say. I bet you seen gold teeth and gold jewelry and all that.
It was like a whole different vibe. Like, it was just like, yo, what is this? That's what kind of made it stick out. Even though dudes from like the North and on New York or whatever was like pretty much just into like whatever hip hop, like New York hip hop, that
more like B-boy type shit.
Yeah, that shit changed everything.
Because now if you think about whoever hot, you can name any kind of artist in a genre. It got to be rapper, trap. You can't really tell if a rapper is from the West Coast. He might stay in Connecticut somewhere because they all sound Southern, from their lyrics to their music to the whole production. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Everybody don't picked up on that Southern culture now. The South never had a place in hip hop until the past couple of however many years you want to go back. It's all about the South. Everybody sounds Southern. Everybody got that Southern vibe. You know what I'm saying? It just, but it ain't always been like that, man. I mean, it's a good thing, but it ain't always been like that. Like, you can have a motherfucker from anywhere in the Midwest, but he most likely he gonna have a Southern beat. His style gonna be Southern. And you know what I'm saying? You might think this motherfucker from Fort Lauderdale or somewhere, Atlanta or somewhere. Right. You never know that he from Connecticut, you know what I'm saying? Some northern or western state.
Right. So as far as like 2000,
that's when shit started changing in 2000.
Okay, that's what I'm asking. The 2000s, what kind of music were you producing in the 2000s?
Honestly, my opinion, I always listen to other people, of course, but I never had a favorite artist. My favorite artist always been me. Not saying I'm the best producer. I'm not the best beat maker, singer, or rapper in the world, but I am my favorite artist. You know what I'm saying? Because I know what I like. Don't nobody know you like you. You know what I'm saying? So I put myself number one because it's me. Not saying I'm the best. Of course, ain't nobody gonna feel like I'm better than whoever on the top of the list or the top of the charts right now. But I listen to my own ish. Like, I don't even listen to the radio. My kids listen to it, but I don't listen to the radio. If I'm listening to something, I'm listening to my own music. Whether it's a song or just some beats I probably did. You know what I'm saying? Fine tuning that thing. My whole life, I've always been focused on my music.
I think the best feeling, like as a producer or as an artist, is playing your music, and then let's say you playing your music in your car or whatever, and somebody's like, yo, what's that? Yo, I kind of like that. And they don't know, you know, that it's you. Yeah, that shit is crazy.
Yeah, you get them butterflies in your chest, in your stomach. It's a hell of a feeling, man. And can't no drug, no alcohol or anything duplicate that feeling you get. You know what I'm saying? It's like the same feeling you get when your kids tell you how much they love you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You can't express those feelings you get, man. And my music the same way. My music is my diary. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got no notebook where I express my feelings. I put it all in my music. However I feel, that's what type of beat I make. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's up. That's a good point of view. Like you say that your music is your diary. I like that.
Yeah, my music is my diary. If I make an R&B song, it's probably because my wife either pissed me off or she made me happy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I express everything through my music. And the best songs I ever made is when she had me pissed the fuck off.
Yeah.
Well, them the best songs everybody be on them motherfuckers, boy. You know what I'm saying?
Growing up, like, was there any music being played like in your household from your parents to your siblings or anybody?
Yeah, my mama, she used to always play records. I still got some of her records in my garage now, man. She always played music.
What kind of records was she playing?
Oh man, I have to go in there and check them shits. But it just the basic Luther Vandross, you know, the same thing about it. Every other mother or father played.
Growing up, my parents are Caribbean. They're from Barbados, right? So a lot of the music that they played when they were younger was like 60s rhythm and blues stuff that got transported over there.
So you saying like what kind of genre?
Yes.
Okay, mainly oldies, but what is it? Oldies but goodies, like whatever genre you would consider Luther Vandross and all that, because you know some people would consider that pop, some people would consider that R&B. Like I don't really remember what kind of category those artists kind of fit in, because Michael Jackson, he was more like category as pop, right? He wasn't considered as R&B. So you know what I'm saying? It was like a mix between R&B and pop, but not the pop music that we would think of today. You know what I'm saying? That old original pop, like Prince and Michael Jackson and a couple of other, you know, old school artists.
A lot of the records that I ended up getting when I started getting into music, like my pops, he was a caretaker in the projects out here, right? So he started off as a caretaker, and then he became a plumber and stuff like that. But when people would move out of their apartment, they would leave behind their junk. And a lot of the times they would leave behind records, and they would leave behind tapes and music. So he knew that I was into that stuff, so he would bring those things home for me, you know? And that's how I kind of got like an introduction into like hip hop and like reggae and R&B and rhythm and blues and things like that. And like you said, you got records from your mom. I got records that I got from my mom's crib too in my house right now.
Yeah, when I was little, I get like pots and pans, I like phone books and fish with some sticks and beat on them like I'm playing the drums to the records. And when we went to church, because you know back then we ain't had no choice to say we didn't want to go to church. We had to go.
Right.
So I always want to sit in the front, you know, to get as closest to the dude playing the drum as possible. because I always liked drums. I always liked beating and stuff. Summertime, man, we used to all meet up at the pool and beat on the doors and, in the classroom, lunchroom, beating on the lunch table. And that's what really started it off for me before I started making beats. So I was making beats before I had physical equipment. But of course, we were just doing it with our hands, pencils, and it's like that. But I had the skills and the knowledge and the timing to, to apply all that to actual equipment. And from there, I got in the marching band.
Did you ever play any of those instruments in church? Like drums, bass?
My mama bought me a drum set, man, but when they got to that foot pedal, they got too complicated for me. Really, I gave up on that, man. But what I did, I ended up getting in the marching band from middle school, high school, all the way to college. Oh, okay. So that's what really got me. And it just took off from there.
So Drumline was a very inspirational movie to you, huh?
It was inspirational, but a lot of that was actually just fake, you got to throw in for entertainment.
Right.
Some of that was real life experiences, but some of that just, some they throw in to fill in the blanks. Right. But the concept of, that's real, man, because when you come, not just Florida, man, in the southern state, it's not, because, up north, y'all big on basketball. Down here, we bigger on football. So it's all about the football games. And most black high schools and colleges ain't got no good football team. So they just come to see the band in the halftime show. That's what it's about. That's what it's about, man. It's about to come, you come to see the band, and that's your entertainment right there. They ain't worrying about the football team because 90% of black colleges suck anyway. You can't name 5 black colleges that's really out there. You know what I'm saying? But you can name a million white or all mixed colleges that's big. You know what I'm saying? Right. So it always been, whether it's college or high school, it's always been about the marching bands. Like that's real anywhere in the South.
Right. And so you've always been making music on your own, like by yourself, or did you have friends or a group or whatever?
I'm more productive by myself because a lot of the people don't have the same mindset as me, and you spend more time not getting shit done. So I'm way much better when I'm in my own world, in my house or wherever, making music by myself. I'd rather be by myself making music than to be in the studio with 20, 30 motherfuckers. Because if it's 20 motherfuckers in the studio, 9 out of 10, 18 of them just in the fucking way. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, fact.
18 of them just in the goddamn way. They just there. So I ain't got time for all that, man.
How you feel about Rick Ross and his musical career right now, being from Florida?
I mean, he was straight, but he ain't no idol. Shit, he just Rick Ross. Like, shit, we don't see Rick Ross as no. Well, everybody got their own opinion. I can only give you mine, but from what I know, everybody don't see him as no big icon, especially not this generation. Like, they know who Rick Ross is, but that ain't who they look up to. You know what I'm saying? They look up to people in their age range that's on the shit that they own. Like, it's more underground. It's more artists that's popping off in Florida that run marathons around the bigger artists that came out before them in Florida. Like, it's a lot of shit going on in Florida that people just don't know about, but I'm quite sure that's the same in any other goddamn state.
So, like, what is the
different areas got their own vibe. Like, everybody different. Every major city in Florida got their own style. Right. That's what a lot of people also don't know. Like Tampa, they got their own completely style. I like their style. Miami, they got their own style. Where I'm from the Jacksonville, Duval County. We got our own style. So everybody had their own sound, even though we all in the same state.
Right. What do you feel is the production scene out in Florida, like as far as like producers and stuff like that?
That's another question I can't answer, because when I say I stay in my own bubble, bro,
you don't even care about that.
I literally stay in my own bubble. Like, I'm not gonna bullshit you. I stay in my own bubble. I can't tell you about nobody else. I can't answer that question, bro. Because if I focus on what I don't see them as competition because it's enough work out here for everybody, regardless of what it is you do. So I don't. How can I explain it? I don't care who the best and who got this and who trending, and of course I got a million friends that's producers, but I don't follow them. And like, I got a lot of homeboy, of course, that I'm a producer. I got a load of friends that rap, but I don't even follow they. It's not that I don't try to be supportive. I'm the type of motherfucker. If me and you wasn't goddamn Ace Moon Coons from the beginning, I'm not gonna start following you once I see you making traction and you blowing up, because I don't want to feel like I'm trying to ride your wave. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because a lot of motherfuckers try to ride your wave. I just congratulate you from a distance. You know what I'm saying? Just because I ain't reaching out to you, don't mean I'm not proud of you and happy on what you doing. It just, I ain't finna inbox you and tweet you every day and all this shit now that I'm doing good. Nah.
I kind of, you know what? I remember growing up and like making music like with my friends and things like that. And I just, like from a New York standpoint, like over here is more like, it's kind of like competitive, not so much in a way of like lifestyle, but like if you really got skills or not. So like it's from a perspective of out here. It's like for most people, I'm not gonna say all, but for most producers, for most rappers, it's kind of like this steel sharpens steel kind of thing. But it used to be that. Now it's a little bit different. Now it's more so everybody's kind of like closed off, secluded. And it's more like email me a verse or something like that.
Yeah, that's how it is, man. But I don't know, man. Like the majority of my partners that's producers and really doing something, I'm a better producer than them, but I wouldn't hold myself over them because they're physically doing more than me. They got more going on than what I got going on. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I can't knock nobody hustle that's doing good at a place where I'm trying to be. I never be that type of person. I don't hate, I don't envy. I congratulate you. I just stay in my own lane and I let you do your thing. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna call you, hey man, hook me. I seen you in the studio with so and so, man. See if you can plug me in. Nah, I'm not doing none of that shit. I only focus on what I can control. Anything outside of that, I don't even bother, man. That's what the shit to me. Because at the end of the day, if I never make a goddamn, if I never receive a Grammy, I'm still gonna make music for the rest of my life, regardless. You know what I'm saying? If my music never touches,
that's part of who you are,
who I am. If my music never touch another ear from here on to the rest of my life, I'm still gonna make music because I make music for me. You know what I'm saying? So it's always gonna be in my life. I've been slipping a little bit though, but I'm getting back in it.
Slipping? What would you call slipping?
Not being consistent, but I got so much. My catalog is so big, so I can take breaks. Some people can't take breaks if they ain't, you know what I'm saying, if they ain't did the footwork to take a break, to take a deep breath, you know what I'm saying? But my shit,
okay,
man, I got multiple hard drives, goddamn 200 gigs on them motherfucker, just full of beats, you know what I'm saying, over the years up to this date. So if I want to take a month or 2 months off, I'm good. Somebody called me, 9 out of 10, I already got what you looking for. Unless you want something from scratch, you know, in person. But if you call me and say, hey man, I need this type of beat or whatever, I was like, I already got it. Hell, I've been doing this for so long. How can I not have it? How can I not already cross that bridge a long time ago if I've been doing 20 plus years? You know what I'm saying?
Right. So you basically are like a sample-based producer, or you just come up with your own original stuff? All
original. Well, actually, I've been the past 2 months, I've been downloading a lot of loops, you know, from like Splice and shit like that, a lot of royalty-free loops. And I even been buying some loop packs. But, I mean, it saved a lot of time, man, because everybody ain't got time to be sitting up here trying to come up with a melody and all that. Man, you get buy you a nice little loop pack and just, you know, roll with it. I don't know if you ever heard of how you pronounce his name, Palace. You ever heard of him before?
No, where he from? He's a producer.
Yeah, he signed with 808 Mafia, but he from London or some goddamn well. Like, he one of the hottest producers in the game. So I buy kits from people like those, not just some random person off YouTube selling loop kits. You know what I'm saying? I buy my when I buy loops, I buy them from official top notch producers. You know what I'm saying? And of course they royalty free. But if you got a big placement, you know, then you got to do paperwork and all that. But I don't work with no A and B list celebrities, so I don't never have to worry about getting samples cleared through these people and all that, because I only work with the local artists. So I can buy this pack from them and do what I want to do. Ain't got to worry about nothing legally, as long as I legally purchase it. That's it.
Do you think that you would ever become one of those producers that start selling loop packs? And I
thought about it. I thought about it because I got so much ish, man. Oh my god, for real, bro. I got multiple multiple disk drive of 2 and 3 terabytes of loop kits, preset packs, and just, man, sometimes I spend days and weeks just downloading this. I ain't made no music all week. I just been downloading new sounds, new VSTs. Like, my arsenal is crazy, man. I just packs I never even opened up before.
Do you think, like, being a producer, there's some sort of organization that you need to have?
Yeah, because I actually just made a new folder for my VSTs, and just put in there what I mainly need. You know what I'm saying? Because when you got so much, that also wastes time, because you fumbling through so much to find what you're looking for. You know what I'm saying?
True.
So if I just narrow that big ass list down to maybe 5, maybe even 10, that's kind of overdoing it. VSTs that I probably use, and just roll with that.
I just recently got into this VST company called Good Hertz, GOODHERTZ, and they make a lot of effect VSTs, which, like, they make VSTs like, you know, like lo-fi and compressors and things of that nature, to kind of like add a little sauce onto your to your loops, like when you make them originally. And I was like kind of blown away by it, because these are things that I think, like, producers, well, I'm gonna say from my time era, like, we wasn't really that big into just using effects so much. The most effects that we used was probably like reverb-ish, you know what I'm saying? But now it's a whole other thing now.
Yeah, I ain't never got into that lo-fi.
No?
I always just stick to the script, man.
Right.
I mean, now if I was selling beats online, I would, because you need something for everybody. But people out with, they not gonna be on no lo-fi. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
So that's the only reason why I never really got into it. That's more for like I say, people who sell beats on YouTube and beat stars and all that shit.
Right.
I mean, I don't watch tutorials just to, you know what I'm saying, stay up on game, but I never tried them. Well, I got some lo-fi loop packs, but I ain't even touched them goddamn.
You should dip into them every once in a while, see what they got.
Yeah, I had downloaded them off Splice the other day, matter of fact. It was a lo-fi kit. Some of them sound good.
I hope you guys have enjoyed our conversation with J Baby Beats from Florida. This is TheBtzTho signing off. If you want to contact me, you can contact me at TheBtzTho@gmail.com. If you have any, you can send your suggestions, you can send your well wishes, whatever it might be, you can send it to TheBtzTho@gmail.com. Thank you for listening, ladies and gentlemen. Until next time.